Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who had the worst position. I don't think Saladin had a great one, though. He did a lot with what he had, but he didn't have a lot. That's why we settled, again, so widespread, is so that we didn't end up in a situation where we were thinking to ourselves, well, we have to declare war on someone who is technologically way ahead of us now. We didn't want to be in that position, and to prevent that from happening, we settled far and wide. We'd actually like to get a great scientist, stick him in Kumai, and then build the Oxford University there. So we're going to build the Oxford University there. Even though Rome has more science. And the reason I'm doing that isn't some sort of grand 400 IQ play. I just tend to find that I build too many national wonders in my capital, and it's sort of just not fun to have one of your to have one city be a hyper city and the rest of them to be sort of not interesting at all. So now Antium is my money city, and Kumai is going to be my science city. That's kind of cool, right? I like that a lot. If you are smarter with this game and can better specialize, then you don't end up in that situation. But, situation. But I'm not the best at this game. It's just what it comes down to. One of the things is that if you auto workers, autoing workers is always the wrong decision. But it just so happens that sometimes autoing workers is the easy decision. And so I auto workers quite a bit. But if I didn't do that, I would have an easier time building specifically what I wanted in each city and specializing my cities. But since I don't get why this has to be like this. Sorry, the UI was giving me a hard time there. We're gonna wipe out Saladin this time. He's only got one city, and he's shown that he's willing to attack me despite the fact that he is clearly not capable of defeating me. Which means he's not dangerous, but he'll probably just attack me again later. And I'd rather just deal with the problem now, if that's how things are going to be. So, whatever. I'm gonna protect this unit here, because it has 2 attack city upgrades. Definitely my favorite upgrade. Not always the best one, though, because, of course, there's a lot of times you're fighting a war and you're not attacking cities. But, you know, when you need to crack a siege, you're gonna be damn well happy that you have that upgrade. So, again, I mean, should have just played better, nerd, as far as Ragnar is concerned. There's no way. When he didn't attack us when we attacked Saladin, he basically lost his ability to win this game. And he's been on the back foot for a long time.
People can have the Model T in any color, so long as it's
We're gonna get fascism. We get a great general from doing that, if we're the first there. And I believe we will be. The AI really likes to go for scientific method, and I really don't like to go for scientific method. So, it works out well, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. We have infantry now as well. We just built, we just told everyone to queue up factories. Factories are one of the better things in this game. So we're very happy to have it, but we also have infantry. It's kind of funny, if we had gone nationhood, and we could still go nationhood, we could be drafting infantry now. And that would put in this war pretty quickly. We didn't do that, and so we're not going to. Sort of just because of sunk cost fallacy. We're gonna wait for that cannon to get there, and then we're heading south, and we'll wipe out Saladin. Yeah, don't really want to trade with you. I think I have a higher base research than you by like a lot. I don't want to give you that. No, 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 no. So Ragnar's dead. It's just paperwork at this point. We'd like to get some of his workers if we can. And we probably will, since we have the intention of wiping him out. It's pretty likely. That we do end up. Getting a few. Because we haven't built any in a really long time. And we're about to get railroads. And that means that our workers are going to be busy for a really long time. I will say that this is the way I used to win games a lot. I used to wait until I was technologically really ahead. And then I think I'm gonna get the Pentagon. It's just a question of where I want it, because I have two great engineers. That's enough to just get it. You know, I don't think Neapolis has any wonders. Again, I just like spreading out my wonders sometimes. There's no practical benefit to doing it, but I think it makes my cities a lot cooler. Some of them have a few wonders, some of them have none, but none of them have all of them.
Will more easily fall victim to a big lie than to a small one.
Ragnar's really starting to slow this army down now that it's not getting reinforcements. Yep. That's okay. He can slow me down all he wants. The Juggernaut marches south. We're actually okay with him killing off a big part of my military too, because we're not going to need it anytime soon. We don't really want to fight Darius, because it would just be a huge pain. When we have half the map, we're going to have the tech and the production to do everything we need as far as a scientific victory. And so we're not even slightly worried about it. And in fact, we don't need units anymore. We've produced enough. I didn't realize I actually queued up infantry in Medina. Goes to show his cities down there were pretty strong. No, didn't really do anything with the palace, and I don't regret not doing anything with it. Most of the time I find it pretty useless. The AI, I just let waste its production on it. Again, we're sort of gonna focus on Darius now. There's a possibility that he attacks us. It's pretty low though. Ooh. If I had read that before attacking, I would not have taken that chance, even though we won. Just to have you dead. It's worth it. We'll keep the city. It's gonna be worthless, but oh well. So we would have been fine with leaving Saladin down there, but he saw his opportunity and took it. It's kind of funny that he was such a better warmonger than Ragnar this game. He was opportunistic. He knew we were weak. He exploited us to the best of his ability. And the problem was we had just insulated ourselves a bit too strongly against it. We had strong allies. We had kept friends, and we had built defenses. Not a lot, but enough to prevent him from to prevent a second-rate warmonger like Saladin, who's not really a warmonger again, but was in this game, to prevent him from really doing anything. He did his best. We did our best. Our best was just better. I didn't realize we had all these units up here still. Oops. I was sort of thinking, man, I can't believe Ragnar was so effective at killing off my units. But it turns out he wasn't that effective. So we knew we actually wanted one of these, right? We went in Kumai. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. 144 science in that city, and it's not our capital. We're happy with that. Ragnar settled down here a little weird, but, you know. It's definitely not worth burning his cities down and resettling them. It's just such a big investment. Not something we're interested in at all. Pardon me, you might hear my Coke can opening. So, we're okay with wasting like a ton of units here. Yep. 2 AI gone. Redirect this entire eastern front to Kamai. Now again, we could turn our guns on Darius.
I fooled you. I fooled you. I got
Maybe
pig
we'd
iron.
prefer to do
I
that.
got pig
It'd
iron.
probably be
I got
faster.
all pig iron.
We are gonna have coal plants everywhere. We are gonna be... I don't know. I think ending a game with warmongering sometimes can feel a little cheap. Because you just get technologically ahead, and it's just not that interesting. Can I steamroll you? He doesn't have... He has rifling, but he doesn't have guns. He doesn't have assembly line. So if I want to attack him and steamroll him, it's like it's now or never. Well, my military has to come back. But I'll think about it. I'll give it a real think. We need a bunch of extra tech from all these different monasteries. But if we attack Darius, we're pretty much obligated to attack our good friend Mansa Musa. And he's just been such a friendly guy. We're not going to attack him. We're going to win a science victory, just like we intended to. Mostly just because I don't want to deal with the war. It's just kind of a big pain. And fighting, I don't know. I mean, look at this production I have. I could win here. Mansa Musa will almost certainly vote for me, and I think I have the tech. I mean, this feels cheesy, but I am going to win a science victory. I could also win a conquest victory. I'm gonna do it. Let's see if I have the votes. I'm really curious. I have no idea. Hey, speaking of this, I should be getting my Jewish missionaries out west.
Everything in life is somewhere else. And to get there in a car.
Oh yeah, I easily had the votes. Well. Let me think about it. I might just keep playing and win a different type of victory, because that felt pretty cheesy. But I was just sort of curious if I could do it, and I definitely could. Anyways, here's the replay. Yeah, we got 4 cities before Mansa Musa had 2. Darius didn't expand much. No one expanded like we did. That makes sense because we're the Romans. We are imperialistic, which means we get 50% faster production of settlers. One of my favorite, again, with industrious. It's kind of interesting. Persia would have been really scary if he had gotten out east faster, but much like Mansa Musa, they just sort of took their time. And the Vikings never really just did anything at all. They just stayed on their little, kind of a fun place for Vikings for RP reasons, right? Out here on your own little peninsula, but they never did anything. Anyways, here's where we took Medina. There goes Mecca. Saladin just didn't stand much of a chance. Well, he made a fight of it. The Vikings were the ones who didn't stand much of a chance. So we've won. I am going to continue this. Here's our power. You can see the exact moment I stopped producing units. Here's Darius, not far behind us. We're going to fight him. That's how we're going to end this. Look at all this espionage he's producing. Holy crap. He produces more gold than me. And he's doing better on exports, imports. But I'm ahead in everything else. Number 2 in population? Jesus. He must have so much. Look at all these wonders he built in his capital. Even the Milanese, who basically are just one city, didn't come anywhere close. Let's see. Sure. Forges or factories, libraries? Okay. Forges weren't even close. Neither were factories. I killed 37 longbow units. He produced a ton of catapults, and by he I mean Saladin. And I killed a ton of catapults. He built crossbowmen in the later part of the war, and that's what he was using as his offensive units. He must have not had iron. And he had horses. Did he have iron? Let's see. He didn't have iron. No, he did have iron. I don't know why he produced so many crossbowmen rather than macemen. That doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, we are going to continue this. I'm going to put one more cut in here, and then we're going to fight the Persians and see if we can't win. We're going to swap civics, and I'm a little scared, I'll be honest. He's no joke. Don't want knights. Don't want theaters. Any place where we don't have a coal thing yet. We won't quite build infantry in yet. We have the tech lead. For every unit we have 6. We have +6, who cares what tech we get. We have, he has riflemen, so our infantry are +6 strength better than them, just at a base level. So there's no reason we should have really any problems doing this. We're gonna do it anyways, because it's gonna be fun. Okay, here's the cut.